Hey, so I just want to introduce this thing, which is a based on fluidity mutator, which is basically allows kind of bunny hopping. But I have actually kind of implemented strafe jumping, or what I think strafe jumping kind of is anyway. So I'll quickly show you how it would kind of look. Well, it's going to be loud, sorry, I won't talk too much. So if you just do the normal thing where you hold down space and kind of run forward, it doesn't increase your speed. Holy shit, that's loud. However, if you are moving your mouse, okay, so when you jump, it sets a direction, and then how far you move left or right of that at the same time as strafing in that direction will kind of increase your speed a little bit. So for example, let's just do it while jumping. I'll be, if you move your mouse, it doesn't do anything. If you move your mouse and strafe, it will add some to your speed. Alright. So if you get a good run, you can kind of get up to 2,000. Let's just yeah. Well, if you dodge first, it's much easier. But I just want to show you how it works normally. So as you see here, if I'm jumping, it's telling me up in the top left of this screen that I can't strafe jump. However, if I'm jumping and turning and holding the strafe key in that direction that I'm turning, it tells me that I can. And you can see that when I do that, I'm gathering some speed. So now when you start with a dodge, it's quite easy to get quite fast, quite quickly. And I'm not sure how well this actually works. It doesn't really work that well, because dodging and then just continuing at the speed you're dodging is already pretty crazy for Unreal Tournament 4. So basically that doesn't work too well. It could work in, I mean, it'd be a lot of fun, but in terms of like the long-term game, probably it's not going to work too well in terms of how everything else is balanced. I mean, ut4 has some problems anyway, and that may not make a lot of them worse. But anyway, so actually this is only working offline so far, so I've got to do some work to get it working on a dedicated server environment. Let me show you how things happen here. Alright, this is a bit of a mess, sorry. So this is fluidity, which allows you to hold space and auto jump. Susses out your jump key, continues your momentum, your walk speed while in the air, does not get reduced when you hit the ground. That's basically how it works. So what this does is, let's see, where does it start? So the first thing is when you are, what this is? When you jump, it sets your world rotation and gets a forward vector, and sets that as a variable that doesn't change until you jump again. Then this is just some line trace stuff, but what this also does, and this is not for a part of the how it works, it's just to visualize your turning and where the forward vector is facing. So this is not important because I'm not using that. So this is that forward vector. Okay, that's just for the line trace. And then also it is getting your on tick, it's getting your world rotation forward vector and setting that as a variable on tick. And that's just kind of the setup. So then it goes to if you are falling, that means if you're in the air, it gets that jump vector, the vector, your forward vector when you jumped, and it compares it to your current forward vector, after you've jumped. And basically this just sees if your mouse, or if you're capsule, but it means if your mouse, like if you're moving your mouse, if your capsule has turned to the left or the right of that. So if it's left, it goes this way. If it's right, it goes this way. So then what it's doing is saying, so if you're turning to the right, it's asking, are you also holding down your right strafe key? Or if it's turning to the left, it asks the same question for your left. And if true, it says, okay, you can strafe jump. And same thing here, yes. But if not, no. And then if not, no. And so then we come up here where it applies the momentum. So we've got your forward direction, your forward vector when you jumped, your forward vector, your current forward vector. This is all happening while you're in the air. And if you're strafing in the same direction as you have moved your mouse away from where it was when you jumped, all on the lateral axis, by the way. So then it just gets the length of the difference of those vectors, so it subtracts the current vector, forward vector, from the jumped forward vector, and then it gets the length, and then it kind of relativizes that with the tick rate by multiplying a multiple of that by the delta second, which comes off the tick event. Then what is happening is all things. And then that is getting added to speed. So if I want to change how much it adds or how much velocity is added, I kind of play with this amount, which is how much the delta second is multiplied by. No. How much the vector length is multiplied by before it gets multiplied by the delta second. Okay, so then we're adding that to speed, and then we're setting max walk speed at that. And then as long as we have space held down, we don't lose speed when we hit the ground, with the way I've got it set up. Now the problems with this that make it don't work online is that, when you're holding down space to jump, it's doing this auto jump thing where it gets the jump key and then it tells your character to jump if you are pressing it when you hit the ground. Someone helped me set this up, and I kind of know how it works, but I can't, because of course the surfer doesn't know when you're pressing keys. So I mean, that's the discrepancy here. So now it's setting the forward vector every time you jump, so it's not just doing that when you actually jump, it's also doing this when you auto hop. But because this is all happening based on when your input keys are held down, so the server is not setting this variable for your forward vector every time you jump. Similar problem is with these strafing keys being held down or not. It's always thinking they aren't, because I haven't got it set up properly so that the server knows that you're strafing, I guess. And I just would love some input here, and just how would be the best way to go about that. Alright, cheers.